Hello friends, and welcome back. When it comes to game collecting, I generally seek out anything that piques my interest, whether it's widely considered to be a good or bad title by the mainstream. I don't really base my opinions on them a lot, but honestly, I think a lot of the games that are universally panned aren't so bad. Maybe not good, but I wouldn't go as far as to say they're the worst games in the world. Now, the angry critics on the interwebs have talked about them many a time. The company Color Dreams went under a different name to publish Christian games on the NES. They also did the whole bunch games thing in Castle of Deceit, but let's not try to talk about that one. Let's just forget that even happened. While I certainly do plan on taking a peek at other Wisdom Tree games in the future, I thought I'd focus on one of them today. Honestly, I don't even consider any of them that bad besides Bible Buffet, which I've never played because I don't own it yet. But they're definitely better than the other offerings from the company involved. There's not much I can say about some of them, like Joshua and Exodus, which are just deprived from crystal mines. But they're just basically boneless gauntlet. But more on those various titles later. The game which I'm going to take a look at today is Sunday Funday. It's also known as Sunday Funday, the ride, if you whatever you want to call it. The fun fact that everybody probably already knew, this is actually the last NES game released during its retail life. So that's a thing that certainly makes it stick out. Much like other Wisdom Tree titles, Sunday Funday comes from a Color Dreams game called Menace Beach, which I don't actually own because it's a $250 game. But at least you can get it on the Maxi 15 cartridge, which is significantly less than $250. So that's just crazy. This is probably one of the rarest games I own at this particular moment. And it took me forever to hunt a copy down. In fact, I went to too many games at Oaks, Pennsylvania last year, and I didn't see a single copy of it. But I saw like 15 copies of Little Samson. What does that tell you? That's a topic for another day. But now, I finally have this game in my possession, so let's take a peek at it. Like I had previously mentioned, it's the same idea as Menace Beach, with some alterations to it, mainly enemy sprite swaps that everyone knows about. Although this title does contain 3 games, it's a format similar to Bible Adventures or King of Kings. First, let's take a look at Fishfall. Fishfall is a weird puzzle game that was actually an unreleased Color Dreams game that I'm guessing they just tossed some Bible verses in and released to add some more content to the packaging of this. Because in 1995, when you honestly gonna have much of a chance to promote this weird puzzle game? It's a strange game where fish fall, hence Fishfall, I guess. There's obstacles along the way, like birds and eels, and you have to catch the fish with the B button and throw them back up with the A button. It's strange, but it's kind of fun, although it's very, very tedious. The quotas for each level are a bit excessive if you ask me, but I can forgive it for what it is. At least it's ambitious, and it's better than a lot of stuff this company has hurled out in the past. After you beat each level, you get a nice thumbs up, just like on Facebook, and a Bible verse in between, just what I wanted. Don't blow it. Well, gee, have some faith in me. It's okay, but if it was a game on its own, I probably would like it a lot less. It's definitely best as a filler title for a cartridge like this. The next thing on this cartridge isn't even a game. It's a song by the band For Him, who I've never heard of before. I'm assuming they're some sort of Christian band. Maybe. It's just karaoke over an 8-bit instrumental. So, let's take a look at it, I guess. Are discerning all the fiction from the fact you have led me to. Never mind. On to Sunday Funday. In Sunday Funday, you play as this cool skater dude who doesn't wear a helmet, and his goal is to get to Sunday school as fast as possible. Between each level, you imagine what your teacher's saying to you, and she's pretty mad that you aren't there. But I mean, the city's out to get you, so I would personally understand. You start in a town setting and other kids are trying to beat you up, but you can attack them by twirling your board with B, or you can pick up newspapers and bombs to kill them. First level's short enough. Just kill some kids, move on. Stage 2 puts you into the sewer. Dude, I think it'd be easier to take the street. But, oh, never mind. Carry on, dude. There's springs and spinny things that send you flying and lights that go out. So you have to flick light switches to illuminate the room here and there. In here, there's lots of plumbers that are trying to kill you. It's not too bad. They're easy to take care of. There's a lot of platforming required, but the game controls pretty well. At least better than people say that it controls, personally. You have the ability to do sort of a glide in the air, which very much comes in handy. The level's also pretty short, and back to town you go. You're greeted in this town with a large character, and you can't kill them with your skateboard or by throwing a newspaper at them. The only way to kill them is to blow them to smithereens, which is oddly satisfying. You can also murder these clowns and steal their balloons, which can somehow float you around, but they can be kind of tough to hit sometimes. World 4 is back into the sewer again, with the deadly plumbers and the occasional darkness. It gets tricky sometimes, but I kind of really like how the game is designed. It gets tough with all the RNG and explosives and stuff, but I think it's more NES hard than total nonsense, like you would see in a game like, say, Castle of Deceit. Oh, we aren't talking about that. The whole spinning board thing move is admittedly a little janky, but it's still pretty satisfying to see it actually work. Level 5 has you at this pier setting where you have to avoid these weird pedophile elderly women and sharks that obnoxiously cling to you. Luckily, if you spin around enough, they get off. You also got Jorgen von Strangle from the Fairly Odd Parents. That's what he looks like to me. I don't know. I think the most pain in the butt enemies are the large ones, though, since you have to throw a bomb their way. But with their random patterns, there's honestly no guarantee that the bomb will even blow them up. But I guess I wouldn't just be chilling there if somebody dropped a bomb in front of me either, so whatever. The game is tough, but the thing I must commend it for is that it has infinite continues. No limited continues nonsense with games like Castle of Deceit. Not talking about that game. I like the fact that I can keep trying and trying, especially in a game that's tough like this. For World 6, where do you go? The sewer. Yay. There's a lot of those giant enemies down there that require bombs to kill, but the level's fine. There's not much to talk about here. World 7 has you guessed it, back in the town setting. This part requires the clown's balloon to progress through. And I got the most lucky moment I ever had in gaming in this part. So proud. Other than that, this stage is pretty short. Back to the docks you go after that. With all the typical enemies, you deal with those giant enemies, which is more of a pain than ever to kill. And the worst enemy in the game, the seagull. It just carries you back to earlier in the level. I heckin' hate these birds. It's always so satisfying to blow enemies to smithereens. I can't stress that enough. This level's also pretty short. And dare I say it, if it wasn't so RNG heavy, it would actually be a pretty good speedrun game. Maybe I'll give that a go someday. Imagine your teacher telling you you're going in circles, or at least they're self-aware of it. And speaking of circles, you're back in the sewer. This is the level that has the infamous spring parts that everyone talks about. I didn't find it nearly as difficult as everyone makes it out to be. I'm not sure if I rule at this game or if it's easier than people say it is. Nah, I just roll at it. Yeah, that's it. The room gets dark a lot, but even with that, I didn't find it to be that much of an obstacle because I still, for the most part, breezed through the level. The next level of the game is just the town setting again. Like, there's literally nothing I can really say about it except it's just grab balloons from the clowns and fly away, and that's basically the whole level. Next up, the last level of the game before the final boss stage is the docks again. Who would have guessed? It's kind of tough here and there, but it's a lot of like forward gliding to get across. Apparently the one platform in the stage was added from the Menace Beach release because it was impossible to surpass without dying. And just respawning past the gap was the only way to pass that part. I mean, I still haven't really played to get my input on it, because it's a $250 NES game. But if you get past all the chaos, you're rewarded with the final part, which is a simplistic cave stage with falling stalactites, which will kill you in one shot regardless of your health. The platforming is fine, and it's super short-lived until you get to the final boss. And I guess for that matter, the only boss in this game. A bear. Oh, I see how it is. Okay, I see how it is. The bear basically requires you to strategically get 10 stalactites to fall on it. Luckily the bear itself doesn't one-hit KO you, but sometimes he will drop health power-ups, which is very helpful. I think having the item dropping thing is entirely random though, because I didn't really see any rhyme or reason to it. The fight is honestly pretty tough, and literally half of my entire playthrough was on this stage, mainly because that bear is freaking weird. All the time he's underneath the floor jumping around and falling rocks, very rarely succeed in hitting him when he's like that. And his moving patterns are also pretty sporadic, so it's kind of luck at that point. I kinda had fun with the battle though. It was super satisfying to finally KO him for the first time. Followed by the maddening when I immediately died after. After you kill him, you have to still be wary because the stalactites will still be falling for a little bit until the screen allows you to move through. But death after death after death after death, I finally managed to beat the bear. The ending is pretty much how you would imagine. It's very underwhelming, but it's a game by Wisdom Tree, so it's kind of to be expected. Just a single screen telling you that Sunday is a fun day when you spend it at church. Yeah. Now, is Sunday Funday a game I feel deserves all the hate? I personally don't think it does at all. I actually really like the game. Sure, it's got issues that were common in games created by the company that birthed it, but it controls a lot better than other offerings from them. The difficulty honestly didn't faze me, and I managed to beat the game in less than 2 hours, one of which was entirely dedicated to that stupid bear. I guess you could say the game is a guilty pleasure for me, so I'm clearly in the minority for liking it. But yeah, I think it's a worthwhile experience in my opinion. I personally wouldn't recommend buying it physically due to the fact that it's kind of up there in price and it's pretty tough to find. But if you collect that sort of stuff, then by all means go for it. It's definitely a game I consider to be good, and it's a solid platformer in the NES library in my opinion. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you dig the video, give it a like, and if you dig my content, give me a subscribe. And I will catch you next time. Have a wonderful day.